And to discuss the national and international relief efforts in the region, joining me now from Baku is Vusala Zahirova. She is the head officer of the Public Relations Department of Azerbaijan's Ministry of Emergency Situations. And from Ankara, Alper Kucuk, he is the executive officer for international relations at the Red Crescent. A warm welcome to you both, and thanks for joining me on Straight Talk. So, Alper, we're on day 5 since Turkey was struck by 2 major earthquakes. Could you walk us through the latest and the devastation Turkey is going through right now?
Thank you, Aisha. With today's numbers of casualties, we are already beyond the recent last significant earthquake of Marmara in '99. Right? Today,
Yes.
the numbers have exceeded 18,000 casualties. And it's already the largest natural disaster of the last century. And as you said, we are on day 5 now. And as Turkish Red Crescent, our role and responsibility under the National Emergency Plan is to provide the nutrition and the emergency food services. So that's our primary responsibility. And that's what Turkish Red Crescent teams across 10 provinces, across 300 different distribution points, that's what we are doing. But we are also supporting, on the other side, the relief efforts of search and rescue teams, but also supporting with relief items and materials the affected population. Turkish Red Crescent today is providing 1 million meals per day, together with its partners across these 10 provinces. This is the main figure and main responsibility that we implement on the ground.
All right. So, Vusala, Azerbaijan was the first country to dispatch hundreds of rescue workers to help Turkey, as we're talking about, on the 5th day of this disaster. What's the situation on the ground? You have been, I'm sure, following the situation, what you have been witnessing, and how are rescue operations going there?
Thank you, Aisha. Yes, as soon as we got information about the earthquake hit Turkey on February 6th, Azerbaijan rescue team started preparations for leaving for Turkey, and today 725 persons of Azerbaijani rescue and medical team is operating in the field. The rescuers are so far the rescuers rescued 45 people from the rubble. And also took 269 bodies from the rubble. Azerbaijan has also sent a very highly structuralized field mobile hospital to Turkey, to Kahramanmaras province, hit by the earthquake. And the field mobile hospital is supplied with all kinds of medical supplements and equipments to help affected people in Kahramanmaras province.
So, Alper, please continue.
And Azerbaijan Ministry of Emergency Situations is ready to provide aid and rescue teams furthermore in the coming days.
So, Alper, how has the immense scale of the devastation and freezing temperatures made both rescue efforts harder and the aid to reach the stricken regions? What you have experienced so far?
Thank you, Aisha. I just returned from Hatay last night. I was there from the first hours of the earthquake. From the first day until last night, I was in Hatay. And as you mentioned, across the region, the temperature at night is below 0 degrees. And that makes, of course, it more challenging for rescue efforts, but particularly those under the rubble. The challenges, if we talk about challenges, was that in the first 2 days, of course, the collapsed buildings have blocked roads, and we exactly see on the screen now how the roads were blocked. That made the access challenging. Accessing villages and districts was challenging. With the straight to the ground operation was not possible in the first day of the operation. What I mean is that all those heavy trucks were not able to access the final destinations across the districts and the villages. So we had to break it down to the smaller vehicles and access all the regions. And those were the most significant challenges we faced in the first days of the crisis. And then on the third day and fourth day, all these activities could expand with the road blockages being removed, so the relief efforts could accelerate even further.
Yes, we know the first 2 days was very hard. But Vusala, how are Azerbaijani rescuers working under freezing temperatures? And do they have everything they need to save people?
Azerbaijan has sent its rescue team with all equipments necessary for the rescue operations and search operations. And Azerbaijani Ministry of Emergency Situations provides all kinds of nutrition and daily needs of its team. And I would like to say that Azerbaijan rescue teams is prepared under the academy of the Ministry of Emergency Situations, and they are very professional people and very psychologically prepared people. And it's not their first experience in this kind of operations. So far, I have already mentioned they have rescued dozens of people. Yes. And pulled out, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we know Azerbaijan also lies in a very hazardous zone when it comes to earthquakes. You've mentioned about this, but how has that experience made your country more ready to handle these disasters when they strike and to be able to provide assistance?
Actually, fortunately, we have not experienced such a strong earthquake in recent years, but we know that Azerbaijan, you are right, Azerbaijan is a very hazardous zone when we speak about the earthquakes. But we make our preparedness through keeping the buildings under the control, the buildings under the control, and we pay special attention to the preparedness of population for disasters. Disaster preparedness is, we do it through the awareness-raising events among the population across the countries. And I would like also to note that disaster preparedness is a part of curriculum in Azerbaijani educational system. Furthermore, the disaster management in Azerbaijan is very centralized, is highly centralized under the Ministry of Emergency Situations. And the Ministry of Emergency Situations has all kinds of civil defense, rescue, firefighting, medical teams for disaster management, and liquidation also of the circumstances of the disasters.
So, Alper, how have you been coordinating the foreign teams, but mostly the 8 that arrived in Turkiye right after the earthquakes?
Aisha, thank you. There has been a lot of international solidarity in the aftermath of the earthquake. We received, only as Turkish Red Crescent, we received more than 95 condolences extended to us. And along with that, more than 20 countries and the Red Cross and Red Crescent societies from these countries have been shipping their search and rescue teams, emergency medical teams, and material support to us, including Azerbaijan, primarily Azerbaijan Red Crescent, who is our counterpart in Azerbaijan, has been supporting us. So there has been a lot of international solidarity, arriving particularly in Gaziantep, Adana, airports across the region. International aid is mostly coming to Gaziantep and Adana, of course, to Istanbul airport, from where we onward ship to the ground. In these areas, together with the coordination of AFAD, which is the NDMA in Turkey, we are coordinating together with AFAD the arrival of international assistance. And that is every day arriving, and we are dispatching them as they come to the airports. We dispatch not only from airports, from land crossings that are from neighboring countries in proximity destinations. Land shipments are also coming. So as Turkish Red Crescent, we received already from 14 different countries in-kind donations, and most of them have arrived, and others have been proposing to us their assistance. So we thank those who have been extending their solidarities.
So, Vusala, we've seen an outpouring support from your country with people wanting to help and donate supplies. Can you talk about why there is this tight common bond between the two peoples, especially during times like that?
Turkey is a Brazil country of Azerbaijan. We are also living under that motto as two states, one nation. And it's not surprising that Azerbaijani people reacted so to the earthquake hit the Turkey. And as I mentioned before, as soon as we get information about the earthquake in the Kahramanmaras region of Turkey, according to the order of the president of Azerbaijan, Mr. Ilham Aliyev, our rescue team started their preparedness. They even did not wait for the international alarm by Turkey for international aid, and they started the preparedness. And as soon as until the search and rescue operations will be over in Turkey, our teams will be there. They will support all the operations, and they will do what they can in this field. And I want to say that it's not surprising. We are brother countries, and it's not our first experience for supporting rescue operations in Turkey. In 2011, Azerbaijan rescue teams also participated in the rescue and search operations in the one region that hit by earthquake in 2011.
So, Alper, once the rescue operations have ended, how will the Turkish Red Crescent continue to help to the people in the region?
We will, as the campsites have been established, and while our primary responsibility is the nutrition sector, we also co-support the shelter sector, which Turkish Red Crescent is a tent producer, and we produce tents for our NDMA AFAD, and we gave out our stocks to the instruction of AFAD on that sector. So camps are being established now, and people have been evacuated to certain accommodation sites and settlements. There, the Turkish Red Crescent operation, as we go, initially in these camps, you will see us providing meal services together with partners. But then in the second phase, it will convert to a cash assistance so that people can buy their own choices, and then they cook. But of course, moving to cash requires an establishment and readiness in these settlements. Until then, our main responsibility will remain in providing the necessary food to those who have been affected and settled in these temporary accommodation centers.
So, Vusala, how are Turkish people mobilizing on the ground? I mean, what you've been seeing and what you've been hearing about it?
Actually, we have many friends among the personnel of AFAD, Disaster and Emergency Management Department of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Turkey. When we heard about the earthquake, we called them, and we get information from them how is the situation in the field. And they told us that it's very hard, and they have not witnessed such an earthquake in their history, in their remembered history that they are remembering. But we think that they are also very professional rescuers, very professional teams. But the earthquake is very strong. Mm-hmm. We should know that it's very strong. It's very hard, and even very professional countries, very experienced countries in the field of earthquakes, can experience hardships in these cases. Therefore, we can understand their work. We think that it's very hard for them, and as it is hard for our teams,
sure.
And it's as it is morally, as it is physical, and it is very hard morally for them.
Yes.
But we are sure that Turkey will overcome all these hardships, all these difficulties, and we will be always by them to support them in these activities.
All right, Vusala and Alper, we'll have to leave it here. Thank you very much for joining me on Straight Talk.